Well, firstly, ladies and gentlemen, welcome and thank you for coming today to what is essentially a celebration of Golf Australia's Golf Month, a month which is devoted to the sharing of the game, to bringing a friend to the game, if you like, and there's no better example of that than what we've seen here today at Parkwood Village. My name's Bruce Young. I'm a golf journalist here on the Gold Coast, and it's my pleasure to host this official part of the proceedings today. Firstly, before we get underway, I'd like to just acknowledge some of our guests here. A special mention before we do that to the Parkwood Golf Club, or club at Parkwood Village, more especially to Luke Olsweiger, the Managing Director, and to his General Manager, Cody Matthey. Thank you very much, guys, for assisting in the day, and what a great opportunity it is to share your fabulous facility, your multi-dimensional facility, with all of us here. To Donna Gates, the Deputy Mayor, thank you for being here, Donna. We'll have a chance to talk to you in just a moment. To Brock Greenhalgh, the State Manager for the PGA of Australia, he's with us today. Thank you, Brock, for coming along. Paul McLean is the President of the Queensland Golf Course Superintendents Association, and Paul's with us here today. Louise Corrigan is the Marketing and Communications Manager for Golf Queensland. Louise, thank you for being here, and thank you for assisting us today. It's been a tremendous exercise, I think, and a well worthwhile one as far as the promotion of both Golf Queensland and Golf Australia. Aaron Muirhead from the Queensland Golf Managers Association is with us, and his wife Kim. Thank you, Aaron and Kim, for being with us. Becky Kay has just finished off a workout in the golf simulator. Becky's one of Australia's leading female amateur golfers. She finished 6th at the recent Espirito Santo Trophy tournament, which involved all the world's leading amateurs in Ireland just a few weeks ago. So Becky, we'll have a chance to talk with you in a moment. And Ben Tullipin, some of you have already seen the Empower Golf Paragolfer device or cart that's now available to accommodate disabled golfers and allow them the opportunity to play golf at a level, to play golf generally. I think it's a great feel-good story, and we've already seen Channel 9 being part of that today, keen to promote that story, and I'm sure we'll probably get a chance to talk to Ben in a moment about that as well. So appreciate you all being here, and I'd like firstly to welcome Donna Gates, Deputy Mayor Donna Gates, with us. Thank you, Donna, for being here. Donna, golf means so much to the Gold Coast in so many respects, from a tourism point of view. And I think what we've seen today here personifies that in such a large way, and also the fact that it's not only good for tourism, it's good for the community generally.
It's fantastic. I think we're blessed on the Gold Coast because our weather is just so conducive to playing golf all year round. And we have over 40 golf courses and a lot of resort courses, which the resort courses are fantastic for the tourists who come here. But the club level golf is really important, and the fantastic thing about golf is it doesn't matter what your skill level is. You can play with other people who are much better or much worse, and it doesn't matter with ages. So it's a great family recreation where all members of families can get out there, get active, get healthy and play golf together.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that healthy aspect is very much part of it. Such an eclectic mix of golf courses here on the Gold Coast. There's the high-end golf courses, the other end of the scale as well. Everybody has an opportunity to play golf, and more recently we've seen the arrival of Top Golf here. It really has created even further the Gold Coast as a golf destination, hasn't it?
It has. I've been to Top Golf a couple of times, and it's a great venue and another wonderful tourism attraction for the Gold Coast. I think a lot of locals are going. They can have a few drinks, they can have some food, and they can have a bit of competition as well, which seems to be really working very well. It's been packed the last few times, and the variety available here on the course, on the Gold Coast. My husband is playing golf today at Telly Valley. So, I mean, that's a quaint little course where you see kangaroos and the like, but we've just got such a great variety of courses, and we're very lucky on the Gold Coast.
What about your own game? We saw you working out there on the golf simulator. Are you passionate about playing the game?
Not any longer. I used to play every week, mostly twice a week, but since I joined council, it's pretty hard to find 4 or 5 hours spare in any given week. So I don't play very often now, and I think I've developed some habits over time that I'm going to need to sort out if ever I go back to golf, because apparently I put all my weight on my back foot and I don't follow through. So there's plenty of work to do with my game.
We've talked about the theme of today, which is bringing a friend to the game, sharing the game with a friend. Is it something that you enjoy doing, the social aspect of the game?
It sure is. I actually started playing though because of my son, who at 8 years old took up golf. And I used to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning and drag him around the golf course for as long as I can remember, until he made the juniors and could play a little later. But that was what got me into golf, so that we could play as a family, and I made lots of really great friends who are still my friends today through golf. So the theme is perfect. Get out there and you'll make some wonderful friendships.
Well, Donna, we really appreciate your support today. I think it's already been a fantastic day. There's more to come. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me. Thank you, Bruce.
It's my pleasure now to welcome the departing CEO of the Titans NRL Club, Mr. Graham Annesley. Would you please welcome Graham? Well, Graham, your tenure with the Titans comes to an end, or it's virtually come to an end now. You're heading to Sydney to take up a role with the elite side of the NRL. How has the association been between, we can see physically the closeness of the association, but the actual association with Parkwood, how's that worked out for you?
Oh, look, it was an absolute godsend for us. I mean, we were homeless a few years ago, 3 years ago. The council, through the generosity of Tom and Donna, they had our administration in council premises. Our team was operating out of the Burleigh Bears, which again was very generous of them, but it's a second-tier facility, not a first-class facility. And I came here for our golf day, literally 12 months after I arrived on the Gold Coast, and Luke was Parkwood was a sponsor of the golf day, and Luke started telling me about the sports precinct that he was planning to build here at Parkwood. And at that stage, we didn't know where we were going to finish up, and I said, "Tell me a little bit more about this sports precinct." And one thing led to another, and 12 months of negotiation, and then we turned the first sod on what is now the sports building, 2 buildings along. And we became the anchor tenant and the first tenant, and it's given us facilities that are the equal of anything in the NRL, if not better than most, and it's given us a permanent home. So it came along at just the right time.
I was talking to your commercial manager, Chris, earlier on, and he was saying just how good it is for the players to be able to escape the regime, the fitness and training regime that you have, to be able to come across and play golf, and just also enjoy some of the recreational facilities here as well.
Yeah, that's true. Like all, most professional sports people, they love picking up a golf club in their spare time, and most of them are pretty handy at it. But the great thing about Parkwood and this facility is that our players aren't cocooned away from the general public. They'll come up here and they'll have their lunch up here, and they'll be mixing with members and visitors. They'll be seen wandering around the precinct, out on the golf course, and so from our perspective, that keeps them grounded. The general public are very respectful. They will talk to them, but they don't harass them, and it's really great. They're not closeted away, which they are in a lot of other clubs, where you can't get into the precinct, you can't talk to the players, you can't mix with them. So that's been a great thing for us.
It's a very unique relationship between 2 contrasting sports, that's for sure. When you look back on your tenure at the Gold Coast Titans, how do you feel about the future for them?
Well, I think the future's enormous, to be honest. The club is now very stable. Financially, it's in very good shape. As I said, we've got some of the best facilities in the game, if not in the country. We're including some of the facilities that the other professional codes work out of. The only thing that's really been missing for us over the last couple of years is the consistent on-field performances, but we're edging much closer to that. We've got a very good roster. We've got a couple of quality players joining us for next year to bolster our ranks even further. And if we get an ounce of luck and get away to a good start and get a little bit of momentum, then there's no reason why we won't be finals contenders next year and for many years to come.
Well, thank you for the great work you've done with the Titans, Graham. Good luck with what lies ahead for you. And again, thanks for joining us. Ladies and gentlemen, Graham Annesley. Well, we mentioned Becky Kay a little bit earlier on, and as I mentioned, she's performing some great deeds in the world of amateur golf. And Becky, if you'd like to come up here and join us. Ladies and gentlemen, Becky Kay. Becky, it's been a very busy time for you of late. A marvellous performance, as I mentioned earlier, at the Espirito Santo, which is essentially the World Amateur Teams Championship in Ireland. You finished in 6th place there. As you, I know you mentioned earlier you've got another 12 months in the game as an amateur, but that must have been a great boost for you and perhaps even for female golf in Australia.
Yeah, for sure. It's been a huge year. I don't think I've been home more than 2 weeks in a row since the beginning of the year. So it has been big, but it's good to finish off the year with 6th in the world. So I was pretty stoked with that, and the Australian team, we did good too. So it was just an epic time in Ireland. So
we mentioned earlier the theme of today is sharing the game with a friend, and I know that you've probably got a lot of friends that some would play golf, some wouldn't play golf. How do you encourage your friends into the game when you do?
yeah, well, I started when I was 10, and making friends when I was so young, playing not such a popular sport for a girl too, and being so young. That's what made me stick with it I'm 19 now, so the last 9 years. And basically lifelong friends. I've friends all over the world, friends at home, and the friends that don't play golf, I've took them out, had fun on the golf course. They're not obviously not that good, but they have so much fun with it, and they've came out a couple times, so yeah, it's really good fun.
Becky, we mentioned earlier that you've decided now to stay amateur for another 12 months. You attempted qualifying at the Japan Ladies Tour, were unsuccessful there, but it's a very difficult, especially the Japan Ladies Tour, it's an incredibly long process. So what are your long-term plans at the moment?
Yeah, it's a huge process. I will be planning to stay amateur for the next 12 months, and then probably going to America to try and get onto the LPGA over there. So just playing some professional events coming up and just the amateur events in Australia. Then I'll be traveling overseas beginning of next year. And then that will be leading up to the Q School in America.
You've already performed with distinction at many professional events and obviously amateur events, and we know you've played well at the ladies' events here on the Gold Coast. I'm sure the future is very bright for Becky Kay. Thanks for joining us today and enjoying your time in there with the golf simulator. Ladies and gentlemen, Becky Kay. Well, we've got an eclectic mix of guests today, and one young fellow we're going to talk to now is Kyden Heddle, who's a keen golfer here at Parkwood. And Kyden, if you could come up and join us and tell us about your thoughts about the game. As I said, you play here at Parkwood on a pretty regular basis. You're passionate about the game. What is it about the game of golf that appeals to you?
I like playing golf because then you can show like how to like
To better yourself?
yeah, and like teach each other like how to play with your friends and tell them how to stand and like always make it fun for them.
I saw you giving some lessons in there to DJ Handy. Do you think you got them sorted out?
A little bit.
What about bringing friends to the game? Is it something you enjoy, bringing friends to the game? I asked Becky that same question. How do you encourage your friends to come to the game of golf?
I tell them that it's fun because doesn't matter if you play good day or you have a bad day. It's always fun to play.
Well, Kyden, you're an example of the youth of this game and what this game means to so many young kids. So really enjoyed having you with us. Enjoy the rest of your day, and thanks for joining us. Kyden Heddle. And we thought we'd get a chat with Ben Tullipin, who's the manager for Queensland of Empower Golf. And of course, as I mentioned earlier, you've seen Power Golfer, and Ben's a great story. Ben, if you'd like to join me. Ladies and gentlemen, Ben Tullipin. Ben was a victim of the Bali bombing and lost both of his legs, and at the age of, I don't know what you were, how much?
25.
And he turned to golf at the age, about 5 or 6 years later, 2007, and really it's been a saviour for her, hasn't it? And of course, the introduction of the para golfer, even further greater assistance to you. Tell us about that.
Yeah, look, I never played golf before the bomb. After the bomb, the doctors told me I'd never walk again. Don't bother trying. I thought, who are you to say that? So I got up and started walking. After walking for probably being able to walk without crutches for maybe a year, someone said to me, "You wouldn't be able to swing a golf club, you'll fall over." And what do you know, in the paper the next day, the Australian Amputee Golf Open ad in there. So I signed myself up, right, I'm going to have a crack at this. Didn't have clubs, had no idea. Managed to get a set of clubs and went down. It was at Horizons, New South Wales, and come last, but had an absolute ball, met some amazing people, had great fun, and that's what the game was about. Basically, from then on, I was hooked. I ran Queensland Amputee Golf for about 9 years, and then I wanted to get out and encourage more people to play the game, not just amputees. So I approached James Gribble, the founder of Empower Golf, and said, "Mate, let's get this going up here in Queensland." And we ran our first clinic at Noosa Springs 4.5 years ago. We had about 30 people attend, and from then on we've just grown since. So I cover from Coffs Harbour to Cairns now, and I've got close to just over 400 students in the last 12 months that we've introduced to the game of golf.
It's fabulous. Alan Cowie, a former jockey, was here today. Alan had a bad racing accident quite a few years ago, and he too has been inspired by golf and really has made a difference to your life too, Alan, I'm sure, and you joined us a bit earlier on. So Ben, the carts, there's only a couple in Queensland at the moment. You're clearly keen to get more and make them more available for use.
Yeah, look, we've currently got two para-golfers here in Queensland. They're a specialised wheelchair that enables a para or quadriplegic to stand up in a full upright position. They go in the bunkers, on the greens, basically all aspects of the course. Yeah, like I said, there's only two in Queensland. They are dear, they're $39,000. We would love to buy more. Everything Empower Golf does, we all volunteers, any funds we raise goes towards buying more equipment.
And I know Parkwood have been very supportive as far as Empower Golf is concerned and your vision for what lies ahead. So Ben, again, thanks for joining us. Thanks for being here today. And I'm sure you've opened a lot of people's eyes to some of the issues you're facing and some of the solutions you're trying to arrive at. Thanks again.
Yeah, thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ben Tullipin. Well, that wraps up the official proceedings today. And just, I wouldn't mind if I could get the people we've spoken to, Donna and Graham and Ben and Keidel and Becky together for a photo before you all head off. But again, thanks for joining us today. I think it's been a tremendous success in terms of the promotion of the game and promotion of the concept of bringing a friend to the game. So thank you again. Enjoy the rest of the day.